Live from Detroit, this is the Honestly Sis podcast. Edition. Drew Prince music. Hello, beautiful people. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, however this message or this podcast may find you. Welcome back. I'm here for a little activation. We're going to do it all on the quarter life crisis. Y'all, I just realized I don't have a quote for this week. So this week I'm going to do a channeling all about the quarter life crisis, asking our guardian angels and ancestors how we can overcome it. So if you are ready, go ahead and take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Take another deep inhale in through your nose, through your mouth one more time. We got two bonus ones. Two bonus ones is acceptance and love. Accept that love is meant for you. Accept that you're worthy for love. You don't have to, you don't have to earn love. You're just worthy for it. And it just comes by you accepting it. So just accept it. But our focus this week, the cards that we're going to focus on is patience, obedience, and willingness. I actually really love this. In terms of the quarter life crisis, I feel like right away what our guardian angels and ancestors are telling us is that if you are able to be patient with yourself and be obedient into the callings and the into the inklings that your intuition sends you, and have a willingness to actually go after it and do it, then you will be able to overcome the quarter life crisis. But the problem is, a lot of us, we get intuitive hits, we get those promptings that say, hey, maybe you should start a podcast, or hey, maybe you should go to this a workshop, or hey, maybe you should do whatever the thing may be. You get these intuitive inklings, and for some reason you're not obedient and you don't have a willingness to actually do it. If you don't have a willingness to actually do it, how can you overcome it, right? So our guidance and the channeling for this week is be patient with yourself, but also trust your intuition. I think that patience with yourself is what I was mentioning in the letter. You may be beating yourself up a lot, saying, I had the wrong major, or I wasn't brave enough. I always knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't have the courage to do it. It's okay. Like, I do want to say that when I prayed to God, I had every intentions on becoming an actress. So I prayed to God with like a role to acting in mind. And he gave me a book. Now I could have been like, God, you did not hear me clearly. But clearly, obviously the book is on my path. And now it's so funny. Let me slow down. I never actually thought of myself as a writer, even though I used to write letters all the time as a kid, even though I had to spend all that time on the B2K fan page, even though I read books all my life. I never ever even thought that it was a possibility for me to be a writer. Like, that's how low my conscious awareness, like nothing in my mind was like, oh, as a child when I was reading books, nothing signaled to me that, oh wait, somebody had to write this book. Like, that never clicked for me. And so even though when I prayed to God, I was talking about accounting. I mean, I was talking about being an actress. That was what was on my heart, and God gave me a book. if I wasn't obedient with him, probably none of this would happen. I probably wouldn't be here. This podcast wouldn't have happened. But because I was obedient and because I had the willingness to go down a path that I didn't think was my path, but I was willing to trust what God gave me, now my life has completely transformed. And God is saying that you can do the same. Angel number 7, I love that. That's my favorite number. I love. It's just let me know that our guardian angels and ancestors are here with us. They want us to overcome this. So, dear God, guardian angels, and ancestors, clarify this message of patience, obedience, and a willingness. How can we overcome this quarter life crisis? That makes sense. That makes so happy to be back doing tarot. Like, I don't even know. I really thought I wasn't going to be doing tarot no more, but I'm so happy underneath all of this is the Wheel of Fortune. This message is coming out is just like kind of how I said in the reading. The quarter life crisis is coming about because it's time for you to change. Depression. Actually, I want to say Debbie Brown said this once. Is like, what if that was just the universe way of telling you, hey, you need to make a change? This quarter life crisis, whatever you are feeling, it's coming about because God is saying it is time for you to change. You are now, it's kind of like you now have the green light to go on a brand new cycle. This is what this Wheel of Fortune is coming out. This is what this is what the quarter life crisis is all about. It is to help you change your cycles and to move into a new reality. But you got to do it. Nobody can do this for you. You have to take the steps to do it. Underneath this is the Page of Cups. I mean, it's the Page of Wands and the Sun. The Page of Wands is somebody who's learning how to apply their passions and their skills. And the Sun is like total success. And so, with this baked up under this, God is saying if only you would trust yourself, if only you would actually go on a path of realizing your dreams, you would have massive success. But again, there's something stopping you. And what's stopping us right now for a lot of you guys, what's stopping you is the 5 of Cups in our past position, in the patience. You're not patient with yourself. You've been beating yourself up. You've been mourning what you lost. The 5 of Cups, I mean, look at this card. It's very clear. It has 3 cups spilled over, 2 cups still standing upright. And you see that she's focused on the cups that spilled over. And what God is saying, if you would just turn around and look at those 2 cups you still have remaining, you would see that you're in a much better position than what you think you are. But because you lost, or because you feel like, oh, I put all my energy, I've been working on this for 3 years, I've been working on this for three months, whatever it is, and now you feel like, damn, this just isn't going to work. God is like, well, if you would just be patient with yourself and pivot and look at what you do have, you'll realize that you may have lost something, but you have so much more. And so for a lot of you guys, you have to change your focus. That's what's blocking you from getting over this quarter life crisis. You're so stuck on a loss, and I get it. I'm somebody who have experienced a lot of loss these last couple of years. But the problem is, if you stay focused on that loss, last week we talked all about this, the law of attraction. It adds to both the problem and the solution. And so if you are so focused on this loss that you can't possibly look at the brighter side, then you're never going to be able to get that solution, because the solution is a different frequency than the problem. And so if you're really focused on all you lost, all you went through, I'm not saying get over it, but you need to start doing that healing process to really move past these feelings. And the thing is, if you just acknowledge it, like, damn, I lost this, damn, I lost that, damn, and tell the universe, I want these things back. I want to experience this again. I was talking about that in my I recently did a healing tank, and I didn't realize it, but I guess I must have been sad about not being in a relationship, and my mind reminded me, hey girl, you broke up with that nigga and got nothing again. And like, so it's like, and it just got better and better. And so you need to realize that even though you're losing things, even though things may have went away, those things went away for a reason, and now is your time to change your focus. Obedience, what came out in the current position. I'm going to try so hard not to use a lot of examples and just go through this in our obedience section, in our current position for obedience, what came out is the Hierophant. The Hierophant is actually a major arcana card. So this may be something that you are going to be going through for the rest of the year. So the next 3 to 6 months, like this is, or maybe even the next 2 to 3 years. Like major arcanas is energy that takes a little bit of time to move through. And so with the Hierophant coming out, this is all about your belief system. I mean, sometimes you may look at this and some people may see marriage because there is like a judge here and two people. That may be, your path. Maybe God is telling you to trust that marriage is your path. Trust that you're going to experience it. And instead of being so focused on a loss, change it. Just know that it's coming and work on something else. But really, what I feel like with this obedient coming out in the current position is that for me, the Hierophant signifies your belief systems. And I feel like in order for you to change how you look at things, you got to change your beliefs. You got to change what you believe is true about yourself. And so, what God is saying is that when things are coming up, ooh, that's what it is. For some of you guys, you don't trust your intuition. You don't believe in the spirit world and you don't believe that there's a spirit team having your back. And like your job is to believe in it, is to ask yourself why you don't believe in it. You can always test the universe. You can always be like, okay, let me throw this out here. I want to experience this and just see how it comes in your life. Like, you're never going to know if God is real if you don't work with it, if you don't experience with it, if you don't give it a try. Like, of course, if you're going to keep a negative mind state, then you're never going to be able to experience it. But the key is to be obedient. Like, I think the obedient is like there's something inside of you. Like, you wouldn't come across this podcast if it wasn't some part of you that deep down wanted to believe in God. And maybe, because of how things have happened in your past or how things have been lately, you just don't trust God. You don't trust the spirit world. You don't trust all of this. But it's like you need to go deep within yourself and like figure out why, and see if you could overcome it so that you can change your beliefs. I've been in this position, and it was because it was hard for me to trust God and trust the spirit team and trust the universe when like my own parents had let me down and my own parents have, harmed me and did things. And it's like, well, if these people who birthed me and the reason why I'm here, if they can't be good to me, like how can I believe in this? But then I have to really, really sit and think about my life and realize that, oh, wait, um, God is not my parents, like they may have let me down, but he's never let me down. Anytime that I really, really needed something or anytime I really, like you got to think about, that's why it's so important to do reflection on your life. And honestly, if you think, I think that's what the obedience is coming back. You may be saying, like, oh, well, there has been times where I trust God and he didn't come through. But it's like, but were you really obedient? Because the problem is a lot of us, we get ourselves in positions not because of anything God or the universe did, but because we were not obedient. Because we went against what we felt inside for ourselves. I don't know about you, but a big part of my healing journey was learning how to forgive myself for like the pain that I unnecessarily took myself through just because I didn't trust myself, because I valued other people's opinions above myself, right? And so God is saying, don't keep saying that you can't trust me and you don't believe in me when the truth is you don't believe in trusting yourself. That's what this obedience about. And honestly, newsflash, trusting God is trusting yourself. I had a reading and the lady said that and it was just like, "Bloop, okay, say less." Trusting God is trusting yourself. I know this world want us to believe that that's blasphemous, but that's because the world is trying to take your power away from you. Remember that we live in a converted or like reverted universe, because remember the world is our mirror. So if you're looking at a mirror, you're not necessarily looking at, right, it's not the direct reflection, it's a reverted reflection. And so if the world is telling you you're not God and to believe that you're a God is blasphemous, then that means it's a reverted image. So which means the truth is that you are a God, you do have the power, and you should be operating like that. And so if you learn how to trust yourself and be obedient to the inklings that you have, start to look at yourself like a God and know that you're working with God when you trust those intuitions, then it becomes easier to change your belief system because you're not believing in something that's unknown and outside of you, you're believing in yourself. And this is what it ultimately comes down to. The quarter life crisis is about coming back home to yourself. The problem is you think that you did something wrong, but what was wrong was what you trusting other people over your own opinion of yourself. That's what got you here. It wasn't you not trusting you, it was you trusting other people above you that got you in this position. So now you got to change it. Now you got to put your opinions above everybody. Look, y'all, I have sat in the room with a lot of big deal people and was like, I don't think I need no mentor in this chapter. Our elders ain't it, y'all. We got to be the elders to ourselves. They have another belief system. Like we have to do something differently. And so you may be like, well, I trusted my mom and my mom, and then, well, maybe your mom, maybe that's why you're here because you were trusting in the opinion of your mom over yourself. Nonetheless, what God is saying, if you just have a willingness to go after your dreams, to take one step after other, to just trust your heart, if you just have a willingness, remember how the Bible say just a mustard seed of faith? Do you know how small a mustard seed is? I wonder if I still got it in my wallet. I literally had I went to a church and they gave us a mustard seed. And it's like so small. That's the all you can doubt, and that's the thing. That's what nobody tell you. You can doubt God. You can doubt him. You can be mad at him because all you need is a little bit. So you can go back and forth and you can let me tell y'all. I have had many of times where I have this may not be this is not politically correct where I have cussed God out because I'm crying, I'm crying, I'm yelling at him because I'm like, dog, like I'm out here trying to live my life for you and my life is like this and why did you do this to me and are you real? Do you get this? And like every time I have these moments, breakthrough. Like, I'm not even playing with y'all. Like, whatever I need, it comes. And it made me realize that God is not asking us to be this perfect person. He wants us to be honest. He wants us to be real about the experience that we have. And think about it. If you're experiencing anything, right? How would somebody in a relationship with you know what you're going through unless you tell them? The problem is y'all think God is too big to listen to your little problems. You think God is like, well, he don't care about how I'm feeling. He yes, actually he does. That is his sole purpose. He literally cares. He created you because he want to experience a different version of himself. And he can't know what he's experiencing if you don't fucking communicate with him. Like he can observe it. But if you don't, he can't help you unless you communicate. And that goes back to the belief system. You have to believe. A lot of us are believing that it's like God and us when it's really God and us. We're here and here. We're teammates in this. So you have to work with God, not against God, okay? And if you just have a willingness, if you just have a mustard seed of faith, you will see it through. You will change your cycle. You will see your power. And then you will experience success beyond your wildest imagination. You will experience so much abundance that you will get bored looking at the abundance. Like, it's coming. Look at all of this stuff under here. The queen of all of this stuff is under here. Good shit is under here, but you have to be willing to end the cycle. And would you do it? You got to rush head first towards it. Try it. What does it hurt to try? Also, what does it cost you to believe something differently? Not a goddamn thing. Drew Prince music. Really quickly, moving into our Moving into our tool portion of the reading. Remember, if you want to get these full tools, make sure that you are checking us out at substack.com/honestly sis. Become a member for 77777. You too can become the alchemist of your life. Check us out on Substack. If you love this, you want to get some extra guidance. I'm really gonna go into them. I'm really gonna go in when we get into that Substack. So if you like, this is your reading, but you are here, you stuck at the obedience, you stuck at the willingness, then make sure you come check out these tools. The tools that came out: causing pain for others would attract pain to me. A belief is only a thought that I keep thinking. Maybe I'll stay here since I did grab it. Causing pain to others will attract pain to me. This is our tool portion. So we're going to get into that. Causing pain for others, attract pain to me. See why that came out. But what we're going to focus on for this reading is: a belief is only a thought that I keep thinking. For some of you guys that are, you're stuck on your past position and you think that life is always going to be that way. If you keep thinking it is going to be that way. And what God is saying is that instead of focusing on a negative, you can focus on changing your beliefs. And a belief is simply a thought that you keep thinking. For obedience, what came out is: inspired action is always pleasurable action. About that obedience. So again, a lot of you guys, it's like, stop saying you don't trust God. It's like, do you trust yourself? Have you been following through on those inklings and those things that God have asked for you to do? If not, then you can only be mad at yourself. The last thing, for that willingness, I will praise success whenever I see it. For a lot of you guys, you're jealous of people. You're looking at people, you're judging them because of what they have, but it's like, you can't judge people because they're actually in the arena of life. Get off the sidelines, get your ass out the stands, and get into the arena. But you judging from the seats, you looking down, being like, oh, it's so fat, or oh, get your ass in the arena. That's what I had to realize. I promise y'all, before I started writing this book, I was reading all types of New York Times bestsellers. And I'm just like, how hard could it be to write a book? Why can't these people give me a good, satisfying ending? And then I have proceeded to spend the last 7 years trying to write a damn best-selling book. And I'm like, okay. I would praise it forever I see it. I don't even like, even the worst book. I'm like, well, at least they got it published. At least they finished. I look at it like, well, if this person was able to get this book published, I definitely can get mine published. Again, it's like your mindset. Don't judge people if you are not in the arena of life. Shout out to what was that white lady name? Brene Brown. And there are many ways for us to be right. I think going back on here, I think for a lot of, for some of you guys, it's like, I'm getting this image about your parents, like, just trusting your parents too much, or believing that your parent way of doing things is the only way to do things, and that's just not the case. Okay. um but if this is your reading, come back, like, because I'm gonna get into these tools. I'm also gonna pull a work your light oracle to figure out how we can get out this quarter life crisis, what God wants us to know. But I really feel like overall, a lot of you guys, you just need to trust yourself. You need to take that inspired action. Stop hating on people and stop hating on yourself. Stop telling yourself, oh, I'm never going to do it. Yes, you are. You're going to do it. You're going to see it, and everything is going to be okay. Another card that came out is: achieving success is my birthright. I'm going to leave it right here. Achieving success is your birthright. That's why God is saying, if you just have a willingness to go after what you're supposed to do, then everything will be okay. So for our little deep dive, this is what I'm going to just leave you with: this little antidote. We've always heard that term, and I can give my success to positive aspect again, about you guys so focused on the negative. You got to change it around, boom. But I'm going to leave it here. We've all heard the saying that we are the body of Christ, right? And I want you to literally look at your body, right? Look at your hand. Look at my little hand. Look at my nose. Look at my wiggle your feet a little bit. Now I want you to imagine what happens when your hands try to be your feet. And then I want you to imagine your nose trying to be your mouth, your stomach trying to be your ass, your feet trying to be your hands. That will make the body dysfunction, right? That will make the body break down, right? Because the body is not properly functioning in the area it's supposed to be functioning in, right? If your hands wanted to suddenly be feet, neurologically there would be a disconnect, right? Think about the world. It's a disconnect, right? There's chaos, right? Because we got people who are supposed to be the hands of God trying to be the feet of God. We got people who are supposed to be the mouth of God trying to be the hands of God. You know what I'm saying? So you trusting yourself, you trusting, these things, these dreams that you have is you refunction in the hands because you were meant to be a hand or you were meant to be an artist, but instead you are an accountant. In the body of Christ, you're supposed to be an artist. How can you help the world if you stay stuck as an accountant? If God made you to be an artist, how are you see what I'm saying? And the problem is that we think because, oh, I'm here, that means I'm supposed to be here. Yeah, you supposed to be there if you was content. Yeah, if you didn't dream, if you didn't have any negative feelings, that is where you're supposed to be. But you're having these negative feelings, you're having these inklings because God is asking you, the universe is asking you to move, to try something different so that you can be different. But you're not going to ever experience that if you continue to just keep crying about it. Matter of fact, I was just watching Kamala speech. I was watching Michelle's speech, and they both talked about her mom saying, don't just complain about something you're not willing to do nothing about it. That's the definition of insanity. You complaining about a job that you hate, but you're not doing anything to get yourself out of it. So your homework for this week is to be obedient. And I want you to really, really sit down with yourself and ask yourself, if this was a perfect world, what would I be doing right now? If degrees, if degrees and who and if none of those things were a factor, who would you be? And if it's not who you are today, I want you to have the courage to change it. That's it. You can change your life if you're willing to change your life. But if you stay, you're vowing to keep your life the exact same as it's always been. And that's not fair to you or the world. Because we can't experience the fullness of you. The world, what if the world was in chaos because you refused to step up and be who you were meant to be? Think about it. All right, y'all. That is all I have for you. Until we meet again, dream those dreams. Never let the internet rush you, and never ever let someone tell you what you cannot do. If you are interested in getting into these tools, because I definitely am, because I'm like, what does this card even? I'm be honest. I don't know what this card causing pain for others would attract pain for me. I'm going to get into it. If you're interested into that, make sure you check out www.substack.com/honestly sis. Become a member of our community and we can get all into those tools. Guys, I love you so much. Thank you for helping my dream come true. And I will see you guys again next. This episode was written, produced, and channeled by me and my spirit team. Shout out to y'all. Thank you. Our beautiful theme music comes from Drew Prince himself. So all you other people out there, stay safe out there. Until we meet again, dream those dreams. Never let the internet rush you. Honestly, Sis is an independently owned and operated company. If you would like to donate or support the mission, check out honestlysis.com. For all the lovers out there, see you. I love you. Am you. Peace.